This is Single Status. Hello, Single Status family. How is it going? It's good to be back with you today. Thanks for tuning in. And today's episode is going to be really good because we're going to get real. We're going to talk about the 4 dating tendencies that may be impacting your dating life in a negative way. Okay. But before we get into that, I just want to, first of all, welcome anyone that's new here. I just want to welcome you. Like, it's so exciting that you're here. And anyone that has been tuning in for a while, I just want to say thank you. It's so exciting that I have, all these episodes out at this point. Like, this is an answered prayer that I'm walking in. I am new to podcasting, and I just want to thank everyone to, whoever's been supporting the show. I appreciate all of you engaging and commenting and DMing me and letting me know your thoughts on the show. It's just been wonderful meeting all of you. So thank you so much for your support. And if you don't already, make sure to follow me on Instagram at Samantha Vigneault, Vigneau, and TikTok. You can keep up with everything that's going on with the show. And also, if you're on Apple or Spotify listening, if you could just go to my page and leave a 5-star rating, because I know that is what you want to do. That would be so helpful and I would appreciate it so much. And also, if you listen on Apple too, if you go to my page and scroll all the way down and write a review, I would love to hear your feedback on the show. I'd love to hear what you've been learning and your thoughts. Yes, that would be so wonderful. If you are on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, engage. And again, you guys can DM me at any time and talk about, what you're learning, or if you have questions for me, I would love to meet you. If you could introduce yourself, that would be wonderful. Okay, so before we even get into the 4 dating tendencies, listen, I said we're going to get real today. We're going to get real with ourselves. And it's funny that we're going to get real because today my producer got real with me. And, I batch record. For those of you that are new or you don't know, I actually am from Michigan and I batch record content in Orlando. And I'm new to podcasting. Okay. So literally I had this on my heart to start a podcast for the last few years. And then early in 2022, I really felt led by God to start a podcast. And then God made these divine connections with this studio in Orlando. And I know I was led to be there. And I just said, okay, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go for it. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it. So, I'm down here for the batch recording a second season of episodes. And yesterday I just fell off. I knew it. I fell off. I batch recorded 4 interviews and my producer told me straight up today where I needed to improve, what I needed to do better. I actually accidentally called a very well-known pastor that has brought millions upon millions of people to God. I accidentally called him fat on accident. I called him a large man, guys. Embarrassing, okay? But this is life. This is part of starting something new, is learning and growing and being real with ourselves. And we're never going to get better if we don't step out and do what is on our heart or face our fears in anything, like in life, in business, or whatever you want to pursue. Failure is part of starting something new, or just even if it's not something new, failure is part of life. And we say in business, fail forward. So this is all learning for me and growth. And so yeah, my producer was like, look, we need to do better today. We need to do better. And I'm happy. I really appreciate the feedback. And listen, we're going to be real today in this episode, because just like business, just like starting something new, we need to reflect on where we can improve in our dating life if you want to date better. So if you are ready to date, if you are on the dating scene, like this episode's for you. And in the last, in the first like 10 episodes I recorded, if you listened, I was open about how I was taking a break from dating. I knew that there was things I needed to work on. So I needed some time to just have me time and to reflect. And, in early 2023, I was like, look, I'm ready. Like, I feel ready. Like, Lord, send some good men my way. I'm ready to date again. But, as I've been on the dating scene, I have been really observing, like, what tendencies people tend to resort to in dating. And it's a thing that a lot of us don't even notice sometimes that we're doing. But I have this goal of like, I want to date better, like in business, in life. I remember the first time I received feedback when I was 20 years old, my first corporate job. I sent out a report that was wrong. And I just remember crying. I was so upset. I'm like, I'm going to get fired. Like, I'm horrible. And the people on my team were like, Sam, like, feedback is a gift. Feedback is a gift. Feedback is how you grow. And if you want to grow, you should want feedback. You should seek it because that's how you grow. So that's my goal of today is like, let's pinpoint areas in our dating life that may be holding us back from really, finding someone that we can have a healthy relationship one day. And, I'm a fan at Married at First Sight, the show Married at First Sight. And I don't know if you guys watch it, but it's basically like these experts pair people together and then they get married at first sight. And they had this guy on the show that they called him the serial dater. And he literally went on like hundreds of dates with girls from dating apps. And immediately I was like, this is a total red flag. Like, why did they think this would be a good guy to have on the show when he's been on hundreds of dates? Like, what is going on here? Is he the issue? Are women, running from him? Or is he looking for a needle in a haystack? Like, quick to swipe right with every little thing that he finds in someone that's wrong? And then I was starting to think, like, does he see this as a problem? Like, does he think that he should even stop and reflect and ask himself why he's going on hundreds and hundreds of dates? And listen, as I was like preparing for what I wanted to talk about in this episode, and it's going to be a 3-episode series on dating better, how we can date better. I realized that there are many dating tendencies that a lot of us are struggling with without even realizing it. And these are blind spots that could be holding us back in our dating life. And just like business, just like with this podcast that I just talked about, just like starting something new, like we need to reflect on where can I improve? What are my areas of opportunity? And that is the first step to doing better in life. And so if we want to date better, we need to start with identifying the areas of opportunity. So yes, today we are going to go into the 4 dating tendencies that I've observed since being on the dating scene that seem to be holding people back from having a healthy relationship or a healthy or a successful dating experience. And I am not like a psychologist or a doctor or anything. I'm just a girl on the dating scene and I'm sharing my learnings with you. And I want to share, my thoughts and my journey and how I want to improve in my dating life, okay? So we're going to start with the first dating tendency that may be negatively impacting your dating life. Number 1, we're going to start with the married at first sight guy. Serial dating. So you may tend to, and before I even actually jump into this, get out a pen and paper and take notes. Like if you hear yourself in any of these tendencies, if you feel like, wow, I actually do that, like write it down. And again, let's be real with ourselves because the first step to improvement is identifying where we need to improve. Okay, so the first tendency is serial dating. You may tend to serial date if you've been on over 100 plus, 200 plus dates. Maybe you find one thing wrong with someone and you're quick to swipe right, or you see yourself chasing a high or a hookup rather than a committed relationship, or you feel like you don't really have a good sense on like what you're looking for in a spouse. Okay. And guys, this is real. Like some of you might be like shocked, or some of you might be like, yeah, that's me. I personally know a few guys that have been on 200 plus dates. And I just want to be real with you guys. Like when I talk to my girlfriends about that, it is a red flag. Okay. I mean, because automatically as girls, we start thinking, and there's probably girls that serial date out there too, but I've just seen it. A lot of guys seem to be serial dating. And my first reaction is always, and even when I talk to my friends about it, our questions are, okay, are you repelling people, or are you looking for a needle in the haystack? Are you looking for the perfect person? Or are you just, chasing a high, chasing a dopamine hit to continuously, go on dates? And then I say you might not have a good sense on what you're looking for, because also if you're going on that many dates, like how are you finding that many people that you want to go on dates with, because if I'm on a dating app, I can't even find hundreds of guys that I would actually want to go on a date with that fit, what I'm looking for. So again, like no shame in this or anything, but it's just that, hey, like maybe it's time to reflect and understand what's the root, like what is going on here that is making me continuously swipe right and go on so many dates. Maybe it's time to self-reflect and understand, like, do I even understand what I'm looking for? Do I know what I'm looking for? And what I've realized is just like with anything, dating, I'm not on dating apps right now, in case you're wondering. I am dating, but I don't feel led to be on them right now, but I think they're a great way to meet people. But just like anything, if we do something too much, it could become harmful. And I feel like serial dating is the gluttony of dating apps. It's like excessive indulgence in dating apps. Like just imagine the time that you could be spending on, working on yourself or following through on your goals. And I would just, if this is you, I would just take time to understand like what's going on here. And how can I improve in this area? How can I get more clear on what I'm looking for? And is it coming from a place of I'm expecting perfection from someone? Okay. So the next tendency here is desperate dating. Okay. So you may tend to desperately date if you feel lost or incomplete without a significant other, if you lack boundaries in early stages of dating, if you often try to jump from relationship to relationship, or if you may even tend to lower your standards to be in a relationship or stay in a relationship because you just don't want to be single. Okay? And so desperate dating is something that I tend to do if I'm not self-aware of it. And what I mean by this is I have, stayed in situations for too long that I shouldn't have because I didn't want to be single again. Okay. And I think a lot of women more so like struggle with this. And I'm sure there's a lot of men too, but we just have to be, aware of, is this person actually good for me, or do I just want someone there? You know what I mean? Am I just with this person because I fear being alone, or I feel I won't be accepted by someone else? And, I've been listening to The Basement with Tim Ross, which is an amazing podcast if you need another one to listen to. And he always tells people, like, have a friend or a trusted advisor, someone close to you that you can be vulnerable with and share, your issues with, or share one of these dating tendencies with. Like, I never used to be open with people about things I was struggling with, and lately I am like, listen, like, God gives us people so we can help each other through life and support each other through life. Like, I need to open up more. And I've actually shared with some of my close friends, like, I tend to, sometimes lower my standards to be in a relationship, or maybe not even lower my standards, but I tend to accept things, or I am quick to, fall for someone that might not be good for me. So I just need, help with this. I need to be aware of this. And it helps you to, if you're just sharing that with someone, just sharing it helps you be more, be less likely to act on that. So share your struggles with someone else. Share your blind spots with someone else. If there's something you can improve that you hear in this episode, because that just helps knowing, like, if you start falling for a guy or a girl, and they're not right for you, like, and when in the back of your head, like, your friend knows that you do this, like, you fall for guys that may have big red flags, it just helps you be more real with yourself. Like, okay, no, I'm going to remove myself from this situation, and I'm not going to continue with it. Okay. So share with someone. Be open with your friends, guys. Okay. And the number three dating tendency that may be holding back your dating life, or maybe negatively impacting your dating life, is delusional dating. Okay. Delusional dating. So you may tend to delusionally date if you don't think you have anything to improve on when it comes to dating and relationships. I can't explain how many people I run into that are always saying it's everyone else's fault. I keep getting rejected. I don't know why people don't like me, blah, blah, blah. And listen, I'm sure there's some, like, real situations like that, but sometimes we have to do some self-reflection. Like, what can I do better? You may delusionally date if you find yourself always blaming everyone else, or maybe you have a list of what you want in a significant other, but you're not living up to that list. Like, we need to be who we want to attract, okay? So some examples of this that I've noticed is, like, I went on a date with this guy, and he was like cute, like really good looking, like he was, successful and everything, but he literally did not stop talking the whole time. Like, it was all about him. He was really TMI. He told me about his last relationship and how they weren't having enough sex and all this stuff. It was like way TMI, but he literally talked the whole time. And so, I thanked him for the date, and then I texted him after, like, hey, I really had a good time, but I don't see this going any further. And I think someone like him, it's like, hey, how can I do better? Like, how can I, am I being delusional with how I'm acting on these first dates? Like, am I asking questions, or am I doing all the talking? So there's some things that we just need to reflect on. And then another example could be like, oh, I'm looking for this godly spouse, but you yourself haven't been to church, or haven't been, reading your Bible in like years, like you're waiting on someone else to do these things. Or I see a lot of, maybe you're only into women that are like healthy and fit, but you haven't been to the gym in years. Like, we have to be real with ourselves, and we have to be who we want to attract. Okay? So be who you want to attract, and let's be real on the areas that we can improve. If you're one of those people that think you do not need to improve in any area, and all your relationships and your dating experiences, it was everyone else's fault, like, you probably are the delusional dater. So just try your best to be real with yourself and find areas of, like, hey, I could probably improve on that. Okay, number 4, the last dating tendency that may be negatively impacting your dating life. insecure dating. So dating out of a place of insecurity. Okay. So this could be someone that may fear that no one will love or accept you for who you are. Or maybe you don't put yourself out there because you feel like you'll be rejected. Or you make yourself smaller because you fear someone won't like the real you. And this could be someone that may feel weighed down from like past mistakes that you've made, or, shame that you carry from like childhood trauma, or, something that has happened to you, or something that someone said to you. And it could be scary to open up to someone, and or it could just be like natural insecurities that pop up because maybe you were hurt before and you're scared to open up again. And I come off as a very confident person, and I do consider myself confident. However, I've realized with dating lately, just because I am at a point in my life where I do have a lot going for me, I have a successful career and I have my own house, and I have found myself a little, sometimes I try to lessen myself because I get insecure about a man accepting me. Like I feel like I might be too much for someone. But it's like, no, I have to remember, I'm blessed. Like I have worked hard to be where I am, and God has really blessed me, and whoever I'm with won't be intimidated by that, and they'll love all of that about me, whoever I am with one day. So that's just an example of, an insecurity that I have to be aware of and like check myself. And also for the guys, like I know guys probably deal with this because you're the ones asking girls on dates. And I just want to say, like, and I know it's hard for me to say because I'm a woman, but guys, continue asking girls on dates. Girls want to be asked on dates. Even if I say no to a guy that asks me on a date, I give him so much credit for asking. Like, give her the option to turn you down. Ask her on dates. Slide into the DMs. Go up to her at church. Ask her if you want to, if you could walk her to her car. Ask girls on dates. If you see her at a coffee shop, go up to her and start with introducing yourself. And it's like sales, like it's all in the mind. It's all in our mindset. Like you maybe expect some girls are going to turn you down, but don't let that make you stop asking girls on dates. Continue asking girls on dates because we want to be asked on dates. Okay. So insecure dating, it's something probably a lot of us struggle with, but again, we've been talking a lot in some of the recent episodes about therapy too. Like, now is a time I've been thinking, I tried seeing a therapist like once or twice, and I didn't connect with them. But I have been really thinking like, maybe I should try again, and maybe I should look, into, because I think for anyone, it's good to just talk things out with people and understand the root of why you act certain ways, or why you do certain things, or why you serial date, or why you are desperate dating or insecure dating. So definitely, like, I totally support, therapy and talking to a, expert about why we tend to do certain things. Okay, guys. So listen, in summary, there's 4 dating tendencies that I've observed that may be impacting your dating life today. And this is from a place of love, and a place of like, how can we improve? How can we do better on the dating scene? And it's serial dating, delusional dating, desperate dating, and insecure dating. If you have to re-listen to this episode, go back and listen to it. Take notes. Be real with yourself, just like me, like with this podcast. And whatever we do, like the only way we're going to improve is if we are real with ourselves. We reflect on how we can learn and grow and do better. And that's a big step, just being aware of where we can improve. Okay. So the next 2 episodes are going to be on how we can actually date better. How we can be more confident in who we are, and some things that I have seen really help me date more confidently and date better in general. And I believe the next 2 episodes will really, really help you. So definitely come back for those. And I want to leave you with a scripture, okay? So write this down. Make sure to take notes, guys. Notes are good because we can look back and I'm a big note taker. I'm a huge fan of notes. It just helps me like digest information better. Okay, so Psalm 139, verses 23 through 24. It says, "Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." And I love this scripture because whenever there's something I feel like I can improve on, or something feels off, or there's something in me that may be not of God, I sit before God and I say, "Lord, search my heart. Is there anything in my heart that isn't of you, that I can get rid of, that I can improve on, that I can turn over to you?" And I would just really encourage you to pray this prayer and ask God to search your heart and bring up anything that may be holding you back in your dating life, or to fully embrace your single life, and or to trust him more. Like, this is just a good prayer to pray when you feel off. And God will show you where you can improve. God will show you where you can do better. Because again, these are a lot of times blind spots that we're not aware of. And if you ask God blatantly to search your heart and show you these things, he will show you. Okay? And just surrender that over to him and ask him for help to improve and to grow and to do better and to date better. Okay? So guys, I had such a good time with you today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I pray and I hope that this episode helped you. And yes, so if you've been listening before, you know that I like to end with affirmations. If you're new here, I am a big believer in the power of our words and how our words help our mindset, and their life and death is in the power of the tongue. Okay, so if you could place your hand over your heart and close your eyes to really feel this if you want to, and just repeat after me. I am not alone. I am loved and cherished by the Father, and I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. I felt that today. I really felt that. Okay, guys. I love you. I had a great time. And hey, before we end, please make sure to follow me on Instagram at Samantha Vigneau, Vigneau. And follow me on TikTok as well at the same name. And hey, if you listen on Apple and Spotify, if you could go to my page right now and leave me a 5-star rating, I would be so happy if you did that. Because hey, that is how the algorithm gets to more people. So that would be super helpful. And also specifically on Apple, if you could go to my page, excuse me. Oh, I think I've been talking so much that I need a breather for a sec. Apple, if you could go to my page and scroll all the way down and write a review. Guys, I love hearing your feedback. I love hearing what you learned. I love hearing how the show's impacting you. So please write a review. And on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, comment, share. Hey, share with the single friend too, guys. We need each other. The single family needs each other. So share with that friend. And yes, I think I got everything. Like, comment, share, review, and DM me, guys. DM me, introduce yourself, let me know how you like the show, any ideas you have. Keep me posted. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in 2 weeks.